All right, hello everybody. John Hickok here. That's me. This is Derrick over here.
Don't mistake us.
Yeah,
Don't mix us up.
We're both bald, so we look kind of the
That's
same.
right. Yeah, I was mistaken for him the other day.
Yeah.
I'm shorter.
Yeah, that's the only difference. Okay, so here's the thing. You might be thinking, well, why aren't you doing a podcast? Where's your microphones at? Well, basically, here's the deal. So those of you who don't know yet, I decided to cancel Gun Culture Radio because I want to move it over to the John Hickok channel. It's not going to be as family friendly. That way we don't have to cut out Derrick's swear words over there.
Thank you.
Now this is on the Hickok 45 and Son channel, by the way. So can't swear on this yet.
Got it.
But,
no profanity.
Right. But the reason that we're doing this is because my studio has been in like total disarray. And I'm about to move soon to a new undisclosed location in Romania.
That's all right. Well, yes, down. We can narrow the country down, but okay. It's a big country.
We know I move every week.
That's right. That's right. We're in a caravan.
We film out of a truck, you know.
The gypsies, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, a house-shaped truck.
That's right.
But the reason that we're doing this is because I don't want to have to set all that up just to have to tear it back down again before I move. So for now, I'm going to be doing some solo podcasts that are going to be the John Hickok Show over on the John Hickok channel, which you can find just by, people keep telling me to send links, but I mean, I'll put a link if I can remember to, but just type in John Hickok on YouTube and it'll come up. So yeah, look out for that. That's where the podcasts and are going to be, but it's going to be kind of different sometimes. That's why I wanted to call it the John Hickok Show. Just leave it open to whatever I want to do. Cool. It's kind of the idea. But once I get moved, then we'll do like an actual podcast, like you guys are used to seeing. But for now, we're just going to talk to the camera. We're going to do this in 2 parts. We're going to film this. We're going to talk for about, 20, 30 minutes, and then we're going to turn the camera off. We might move to a different location. We'll see how it goes, and then talk some more, and then that part you'll see later on down the road, down the YouTube road. So anyways, that's all that stuff. So this is the part where we start talking about things.
Okay, cool.
So
that was a bit awkward. Since we're unscripted, I'm like, oh, okay. I like to make the comment with these lights. I feel spotlighted. I feel like I should have some antlers.
Derrick in the headlights.
That's right. I mean, the lights are bright. But hey, we're adapting. We're overcoming.
That's right. It's Hollywood.
All right.
I got to get some better studio lights. I kind of cheaped out on the studio lights.
Well, okay. So I guess those World War II searchlights you got in here. They weren't good enough.
Those are for seeing government planes.
That's right, them the government, them GD. I didn't say it.
Yeah,
them GD government drones. We're gonna shoot them SOBs down.
Yeah.
Is abbreviating okay? Is SOB all right?
It is,
okay,
yeah.
All right.
I saw a stealth drone one time.
You saw a stealth drone?
Right. So like I was hanging out in the woods at night and had a fire and stuff.
Okay.
And I heard this sound, but it was like a really faint. It was like something close to me, but it was like this really faint sound. And I looked up, and I saw this like flashing red light and sort of this black shadowy figure going over, right? And I was just like, "The hell is that?" And then I looked later, like the next day or something. I looked it up online, and the government does have stealth bomber drones.
Yes.
I feel like that's what it was. It could have just been some guy with a...
Well, those things are...
But it didn't seem like one of those. It didn't seem like the classic...
Can you tell how big it was?
It seemed pretty big.
Was the big Air Force, U.S. Air Force, Global Hawk?
I think so.
I thought they flew like 25,000.
Maybe. Maybe it was just some kid.
Some dude.
I think the government spotted me and some kid got one for Christmas.
There's a big issue with privacy, I think. Because people use them with their cameras to fly over people's houses. And some guy somewhere shot one down because the guy next door was flying a drone over his house and allegedly looking at his daughter.
Yeah.
At the pool, and the guy pulled out his old 12 gauge and shot the SOB down.
Yeah.
And I think the guy took flack. The guy who shot down the drone.
Oh, he got in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, for damaging property. It wasn't on his property. It was above it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a legal point there.
Yeah, I know it's a fishy area. I remember that incident well because Dad made a post on Facebook about that. saying how it was like cool the guy shot it down,
He's buck or slug. He's double alt or slug.
And I have to say, if I am on the side of the guy who shot it down, without knowing everything about the situation. Because if you're flying a drone on someone else's property, apparently it was like flying low and it was like boating.
Okay,
it wasn't like just going way over.
It was just like 40 feet, just hovering over.
Of course, the media is going to make it out to be some rednecks like, hey, look, there's a drone.
Try to shoot it down. Unmanned aerial vehicles, my God.
Yeah.
I heard about them and the Sears Roebuck. Okay. They didn't make a catalog anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm all trying. But
they have an app now.
I mean, you're right. We don't know the details. I mean, was it? If he hit with a shotgun, it could have been too high up there.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I was gonna say, Dad posted this thing, and then the drone community came after us.
There's a drone community.
Oh, there's a community for everything.
Oh, of course there is. Drone. Have meetings every Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Except they're not there. It's like just their drones. Or some of them are there, and some of them are there by drones.
Or I like they call them pilots now. You're a guy with a controller. Shut up. You're a pilot. Okay, a pilot gets an actual aircraft, goes down a runway, takes off, or lifts off from a helipad.
Yeah, that's
a pilot.
There should at least be, you're a drone pilot. At least, if you're going to call yourself a pilot, you're a drone pilot. Like if you're flying those ones in the military, that is different, of course. Yeah. But you're not just a regular. You're not like, I'm the same as you. I'm a pilot.
Maybe not so much. You're at Las Vegas. You're at I forgot the name of the base out there. You're at the base of Las Vegas.
Area 51.
It's south of there. Yeah. You're piloting some drone over in Africa, Syria, or Afghan. Yeah. And I know we talked about this before. There was an argument: should these guys get military awards for flying a drone when you're in a cubicle 8,000 miles away? I mean,
honestly, I mean, you're in the military. I wasn't, but as someone who's an outsider, this is my take on it. Well, I know we talked about this before. Well, it's probably been a while. So my take on that is just like with the thing I was saying earlier, drone pilot. You are actually killing people. Yeah. There's no risk to you, but you know that you're possibly killing people, depending on what the situation is. I think you probably should get some awards, but they need to be specific to that.
Yes. What I mean? Maybe not a Bronze Star V device, because what kind of risks did you really take? Did you personally take?
Exactly.
But maybe a certificate, shake a hand,
something that's kind of drone specific.
Good job. You can leave 2 hours early, something like that.
Just like a little button that says "Good one, kid."
That's right, gold star on the calendar. Like your mom used to, and I want you to know that John he killed this vehicle with his Hellfire all by himself. Yeah, I wanted y'all to know that.
Yeah, I mean, getting like the Silver Star or something, that's
or like Air Medal, or
that's disrespectful to the people
that did a little bit more.
Right,
Distinguished Flying Cross. No.
Right, exactly. They should have their own awards.
Example: this individual I used to work for. He was a UH-1 pilot in Vietnam. This guy went into LZ. His aircraft got shot. Then picked up, dropped off.
For the people out there who don't know, and me, what's a UH-1?
Okay, sorry. A UH-1 Iroquois helicopter, or Huey.
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
Sorry,
okay.
All that technical babble.
You know the spinny bladey.
Yeah, that makes all the noise. Yeah. Okay. He flew a helicopter into a LZ, a hot LZ, which means people were firing at him as he was coming into the LZ. He landed, got the troops off, took on injured, wounded. As he lifted the aircraft out of the LZ landing zone, he took more fire, and then the aircraft, he lost power, and he safely landed the aircraft back at the in a safe area, and then rendered aid to the people himself, and to another aircraft came and got them all out. He got a Distinguished Flying Cross.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. Drone guy. Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. So
it's like the guy. There's I think a documentary about. I don't know if it was about that situation specifically. It might have been. I saw something on Netflix about this guy who was a UH-1 pilot.
Yeah.
I act like I know the term.
That's right, by God.
A Huey pilot in Vietnam. And there was, I'll probably butcher the story, but in a nutshell, basically, there were some guys that were under fire. I think they had dropped off, but they got there somehow. And they wanted to go, they were hearing over the radio that they were like being overrun and everything, and they wanted to go help them, but they wouldn't, their commanding officers wouldn't let them go in there because it was too hot or too unknown or something like that, which probably was true to a certain extent. But they were just like, well, the hell that, we're going to go in there anyways, you know. And so this guy, I can't remember, it was one helicopter or two, whatever. They go out there, and there's like this really tall bamboo or some kind of foliage out there, and there's nowhere to land. So what he does is he slowly comes down into the bamboo or whatever it was and just chops it up, just slowly, just like chops it up like a lawnmower, you know. And they weren't even sure if it would work. That's what made it really amazing. They didn't know it would work.
We'll try it.
Yeah, they were like, "We
did it."
Yeah, and it worked, and they got a bunch of those guys out of there, you know. Like, and I think that guy got a medal. If he didn't, he should have. You know.
You never know. I mean, things were different then. You were. It was. I have to say, I'm not gonna say a less professional army, but it was a draftee army back then, and people were there because they had to be there. Which I think the effect that had was that people had the balls to do stuff that people wouldn't do today.
Yeah.
Like that story today. Oh hell no.
No. And I have to say that, and this is, you know, from not someone who's not been in that situation. Just as a man, there's something about, it's like, you never know how you're going to die. You know what I mean? And there's a good chance you're going to die in a way that's not good, not great. You know?
What? Not in your bed, all your family around you, everybody sniveling.
Just something doesn't, you know, that doesn't give you a good, like, yeah, you know? So if you get a chance, you're like, okay, if I do this thing, you know, like this story of this guy, you know, saving those people. If I do this thing, I'm either going to die a hero or live a hero. I can't lose.
That's right. My God. You know? Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm a big believer in that you need to live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Chinese expression, a Chinese saying that is, enjoy life. It's later than you think.
Yeah.
So, and I took that to heart. So go out there and live your life to the fullest. As Mark Twain said, anybody that's living his life to the fullest is ready to die anytime.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Yeah, I love that. And there's something, you know, that's one thing that makes military movies so moving. There's something so powerful about, you know, going back in and risking your life to save other people. You know what I mean?
I guess fortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately. Unfortunately, the majority of military experience is not that.
Right.
It's mundane, routine. All right, okay, all right. You know, especially if you're like administrative. Yeah. Which are the people? Okay, let me qualify this. The people that really make the army work are the admin, the support people. Because all you see in the movies are, you know, Navy SEAL Team 6. You know,
the most interesting
Ranger.
stuff,
They don't saw the guy back there, you know, doing the paperwork. You know, to get them the gas, to fill up the helicopter, to take them to do that. Yeah. Which is, without him, they couldn't be heroic. Because they wouldn't have a way to get there, you know.
Right,
or the guy doing the work on the aircraft to keep it flying, or the guy that drives the truck to get the gas to take to the aircraft. Nobody thinks about that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It takes just like a country, it takes a lot of people to, you know, to make it all work together.
Exactly. It's the nerdy, mundane people that make stuff work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. What do you say is like, do you feel like today it's still worth it to join? Like, people who are listening that are thinking about joining the military, is it still worth it?
I would say this. I say the same thing I say to everybody. Everybody should do it for 2 years. Why? Because if the Army, I can't speak for the rest of them, but the Army, it will make you realize what's important to you. And that is worth so much. It will make you realize what's important to you. It's an experience that you will never have anywhere else. You'll meet people that you will never meet anywhere else, that you never be around. What's his name? The Saving Private Ryan. No, he was the captain in Platoon. White hair guy.
Oh, Willem Dafoe?
No, white hair guy.
Oh.
The captain. He was in the city.
With all the scars and stuff?
No. We're hitting around it. He was the
West Pointer guy that was.
He was the guy when it's Dale Daly.
The guy from Scrubs.
No. Close. No. He was the guy that when General read the letter from the mother and Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, I thought you said platoon for some reason.
I did say platoon.
Oh,
he was the captain. Well, he was the commanding officer in platoon. He was the that colonel in Saving Private Ryan. When the General Marshall was reading the letter from the mother from the Civil War. Yeah. He was in there. He was telling him, "Hey, sir, you're crazy. We can't go out there to find Private Ryan. He's probably KIA. He's that guy."
Is he the guy that was missing an arm? Because the guy that played Walter White in Breaking Bad was part of that scene in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. I think it's Dye, Captain Dye. He was also the military advisor for Saving Private Ryan too.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. He has a real kind of like intense voice.
He was a Vietnam veteran.
Yeah. Okay.
He said that I hope people out there know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like we spent like 20 minutes
hitting around and giving all kinds of hints. In fact, you should make that up. I should make that part of the show.
Yeah.
We're gonna give a bunch of vague hints, and you're gonna figure out who we're talking about. But
it's like, will it kill you to pull out IMDb?
Just Google it for God's sake.
2018.
It's like you gotta go over to the Encyclopedia Britannica and look him up. But I saw him. He did a podcast at the World War II Museum in New Orleans. And he said he thinks the draft is a good idea. He says because everybody should go, like Israel. Everybody should go because again you'll learn what's important to you. You'll have experiences that you'll never have anywhere else, and you'll meet people different from you, which gives you a broader perspective of the world you live in. And he's absolutely right. Problem, draft ain't gonna work in America today. No. Nah. I had one Vietnam guy told me that a drafty army is a bad thing because it's a drafty army.
Yeah.
You got people who absolutely do not want to be there.
Right.
And discipline is going to have to be a lot harder. Discipline had to be a lot harder because you got people who had no inclination at all to be there.
Right.
So.
And that's one reason I wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, because you've got that. You got people that would be in there that would not want to be there. That you wouldn't even want to be in there.
Yes.
And then you've also got people. There are those people that they just have it together from day one. Like they know what they want to be, they know what they want to do. Whether it's being in a band or being an accountant or being working in a bank or whatever their thing is. It's just like we've all known those people. I can't relate to it, but it's just bam, high school, college.
They know from day one. This is it. I'm doing this.
And the military would just screw that up. That's a guy you kind of need in society, and that would screw up their momentum.
Exactly. It will keep the guy that didn't know what he wanted from. It will be an interruption of his life.
Exactly.
It's give and take.
But maybe like if a half measure would be like if the military had maybe some better programs for people who just kind of want an in and out kind of experience that makes it a little bit less disruptive to their life later on, of like being able to learn skills that will translate better and
like a minimum amount of time. Like 18 months, which is
maybe
18 months, 2 years, just bare minimum. Get in there, you do it, get out. Which in the first part of the of this last war, Gulf War II, it's like that was the idea. The Army came out with that plan. It was I don't know how much they did it or how much they implemented it, but it was 18-month, 24-month enlistment. Minus basic training, AIT, whatever you're gonna do. Right. You went in there. 18 months, you were out, gone. I saw two people who did it on Bragg. They were, it was called Airborne Spoon. What they did, they were airborne cooks. Airborne cooks. They went to basic training, airborne school, advanced individual training to be cooks. They came out there, they did 18 months, out. Huh. And the payoff was they got the student loan payment program, which means they got their college loans paid off. In there, 18 months, a year and a half, out. Yeah. And they did it as a husband and wife. I went, all right. Yeah. Hey, I mean, if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it. The problem is a lot of young folks can't stay focused. Yeah. That's the problem I saw when I was in the Army. A lot of young folks could not stay focused. Have a goal, come in there, I'm going to go in there, do this, and get out. Yeah. But there are too many distractions. It's like, well, you know, I could go to school, but well, I'm gonna stay in the barracks and drink, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or chase women.
It's so hard when you're under 25.
Yeah, it's hard to stay focused. You know, it's hard.
It's so difficult. There are those like freak people, like we talked about, that have it together somehow from day one, and that's hereditary. They got good parents or what, but
that's
it's just
not
like,
the majority.
There are people like that, and it's crazy. But for most of us, it's like, you know, when you're young, you're just like, you know, I don't need this. Or, you know, just, I don't know, you're just so delusional.
It's learn as you go.
Yeah.
I wish life, I made this joke before and I'll make it again. I wish life came with instructions. But even if it did, I wouldn't follow it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you learn as you go. What I wish I'd learned more quicker, I guess, could avoid a whole bunch of problems if I learned faster about how people are, about life, and all. It came off that rural environment in the South I came from. You know, wasn't necessarily socialized. Didn't know how people were. Oh, that learning curve was real steep. I had to learn real quick, dude. You get around people, you're like, God, you sound just like one of them folks on TV. Yeah. Talk like you from New York City.
Well, you know, and that's the unfortunate truth that I've learned as I've gotten older is you always hear about, you know, people in the South, they're just so nice and they're so warm and everything, and that's true to a certain extent, in a certain context.
What part of the South are we talking about? Real big,
Yeah, it depends. But and then you hear like people in the North and New York, they're all rude and everything like that. Here's the unfortunate truth. The reason people come across more rude in big cities because they know people and how they are. They know more people. You know what I mean? There's certain things that you just learn quicker if you're around a lot of people all the time.
It's the environment. You have to catch on quicker. You have to react quicker. You have to learn faster. It's the environment.
Yeah. You know, like if you live in a small town or something, you know, like you might experience in several years what someone in New York experiences in a week, as far as like getting screwed over, someone trying to take advantage of you.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
you know, and all the backhanded stuff that people do.
It's a different environment, and again, depending. Well, both of them have pluses and minuses.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The old South. I love saying that. The old South. Well, it was you were able to be a kid. It was a much slower paced environment. You were able to be a kid. It was a good thing. Great place to grow up. Stay there? No way. Do not live your entire life there by no means. You grew up there, good, simple childhood. You could be a kid. And then once you get about 18, 20, go to school somewhere else, go out there, experience life. And then when you get old enough,
you can decide,
or get older, you can decide to go back there and run out the clock.
Right. Exactly. I think it's good to experience both. You know, I grew up in a small town, and you know, being outside of, because people know I grew up like around Nashville.
That's right.
In the country, you know. And of course, Nashville has always been a fairly metropolitan kind of city. It's not huge, but it's always been
compared to the rest of the state.
Exactly. It's a decent sized city, and that was always, I was always in Nashville a lot and stuff like that. But now that I've been living in Nashville. For the past several years, it's a totally different experience. It does sort of change you, you know. I'm used to the traffic, you know. It's like sometimes I'll be in a car with someone that's not used to the traffic, and it's just like, chill out. This is Nashville. This is the city. Come on, like, you know. I'm just so used to it now.
Well, you know, I think it's changed a whole lot.
It has changed. It's a real city now, where it used to be smaller. Yeah.
You know, this is a small town. No, it ain't.
Yeah.
It's a major city.
It's becoming Atlanta very fast.
Yeah, North Atlanta. You're right.
That's funny for some people out there.
Atlanta going, what? What do you mean?
Atlanta, not all of it.
We got a suburb now, it's about 4 hours north.
I always like to joke, like, because I go down to Atlanta occasionally to do comedy and stuff. And there's a really neat comedy club down there called the Laughing Skull, and then it has a burger place attached to the Vortex.
Okay.
If you know that spot or not, but I always like to make the crack whenever, like, on the way down there, if you run into like a traffic jam, I was like, oh, here the Atlanta traffic has already started, and you're like, you know,
there's no getting away from it. I mean, I passed through Atlanta a couple of times the past couple of months, and there is no good time to go through Atlanta. It used to be, well, if you get there before 5, you're gonna beat that morning traffic.
Yeah,
No. And if you get there, if you're gonna leave, you gotta leave before 4 because you gotta beat that afternoon traffic. No, this constant back to back, bumper to bumper. Just I learned to go around Atlanta. Just go around it.
Or just make good time. I mean, schedule right. That's the thing. I've always I don't know why, but traffic has never upset me. I mean, it's annoying if you're trying to get somewhere fast. Yeah, it is. But I just try to at least be aware of it. But being stuck in traffic, I don't know, it doesn't bother me a whole lot.
I was we stopped en route to the last little adventure. We stopped in Calhoun County, Georgia. I can't. Whenever I think about Georgia, I start Colonel Sanders now. And we stopped at a Waffle House in Calhoun County, Georgia. And
did you say like a really big city like that?
New York City. My parents were. They could anywhere north of Atlanta was they had to emphasize it. You know, like Washington D.C. What? Okay, I mean okay. Ottumwa, Iowa. Okay, all right. But anyway, we stopped at Calhoun County, Georgia, at this Waffle House. Apparently, it was the place where all the angry white men hung out.
That's Waffle House. They even work there sometimes.
We sit there having breakfast, and everybody, all these old guys sitting there, these pissed off looks on their faces. Right? I'm like, with the coffee, and they're angry, and God,
well, they're at Waffle House.
Life, angry. I'm in Calhoun County. I'm in the Waffle House. Oh God, somebody's gotta die. But anyway, so we were talking, and I guess the guy was eavesdropping. And he says, I says, well, the traffic in Atlanta, I guess we will get going to get there before, again, coming from the old South. Yeah. If you got there before 6, you might get through, right? Yeah. And I guess this guy was eavesdropping. He says, what? Where you going? Atlanta? Boy, you might as well just go ahead and have a long breakfast, boy. You ain't getting through no Atlanta. Not Atlanta. You ain't getting through Atlanta. This time of morning. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm thinking, who is this guy?
Didn't your parents raise you right?
What kind of upbringing you had trying to get to Atlanta this time of morning? All right, well, thank you, sir, for your traffic brief. I appreciate that. So, Calhoun County, Georgia.
I have to say, my experience, Chicago is way worse to get through than Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I can imagine, dude. No, sorry, I can't even imagine that far north. Like, no, that's too far north there, boy. No,
Yeah,
Chicago. Sorry, I talk about being a kid in the 70s. The only images I got of Chicago are good times.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind. That's all the images I got.
My image of Chicago is like Al Capone.
Oh yeah. In fact, I just saw Untouchables today. Kevin Costner. Sean Connery.
Wooden crates and whiskey.
Little cop walking the beat, twirling his cane and all that. Okay, all right. Yeah. I realize there are a lot of Chicago posers out there too.
Oh yeah.
People from they live 60 miles outside Chicago, but where they're from, Chicago. Chi-town, of course.
Right.
South, and then if you say, what part of Chicago? Oh, it's South Side. Yeah. It's got that rep. So.
Yeah. South Side apparently is really big.
That's right.
A lot of people.
Just like New York talking, people that claim they're from New York talking about Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn, the Bronx.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Dude, don't impress me. Okay, all right. So.
Yeah, I know. It is funny if people will brag about being from a bad place to be from just because it's tough or whatever.
Oh yeah, North Philly. Hey. North Philly. I'm like, South Georgia. Who cares, dude? I mean, hey.
Yeah, just because you're from there doesn't mean you're tough.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, but you got a lot of posers out there. In the organization I currently work for. You see a lot of posers, they get the tattoos, and all that, and they got the hair and the tats and all, like, I'm like, hey dude, relax. Nobody cares, all right, dude,
That's the thing, like, in American culture especially, identity is such a big deal.
Oh yeah. Everybody wants to grab a piece of.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I always felt like just, to be a good person, but do what you would do naturally, and then that will become your identity.
Sure, be yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see no poser Amish.
If you do, then that's
ride the carriage.
Yeah,
Jedediah. What Zebedee? I don't see that.
I don't even know what
Poser Amish. Oh, I'm Mennonite. You Amish? You ain't nothing. Get out of here.
The camera couldn't handle that joke and shut off.
I hope that camera's been shut off in like the past 13 or 15 minutes.
I think it just did.
Okay,
But we're talking about poser Amish.
Poser Amish. Never see that. Never see that. But you gotta be cool. That's the key.
Yeah. I used to do this joke. I guess I'll say it because it never didn't work right. It's not one I'm worried about putting out, but I used to try to do this joke about how the Amish people are viewed like everyone hates Scientologists.
Yeah.
But to me, the Amish are just as weird and creepy.
Okay.
But the Scientologists don't have delicious fresh bread.
Okay, good point. Good point.
It's kind of funny, but it never did what I wanted to.
I don't know.
I didn't have a lot of other good lines for it, but, but in concept, it is to me. It's funny how the Amish are. We can say what we want about them. They're not watching this. Right?
I know what they're gonna do. They're all
Exactly. But they. They're pretty bizarre. They're pretty weird, and on the Scientology almost level in a different way. I mean, the way they're polar opposites, but the same. But people are pretty forgiving of them because they kind of at least they leave you alone.
They're not imposing their stuff on you.
Yeah, exactly.
They said, we're Amish. Hey, if you think it's cool, that's great.
Right? They're here, have some bread.
Build a barn for you.
Yeah, whatever you need.
But I mean, you got to be pretty much a big whatever if you got a problem with the Amish. Come on.
I was driving by. The Scientologists are scary. I was driving by their building. They got a building in Nashville, and I stopped at a light and I was just looking at it, and I looked up and there was this dude in like a three-piece suit. Looked creepy as hell and just looking out the window. Up there at the top level.
Okay.
And I was
Scientology building?
Yeah. And I was just like, oh shit.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
I kind of at this point, Scientology, there's so much information out there about it that it's kind of your own fault if you get involved with it.
Well, you can't be, you're not blind going in. You can't say, well, I just kind of woke up, I was at the church. No, you know. Yeah. I mean, I saw the street. Jefferson Street, Malcolm X stopped me. Jefferson Street, Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I'm in this place. I don't want to give a free plug on your show.
Okay.
But I'm in there, and the guy sees me in my uniform, and says, "So, servant of the government." I'm like, "What? Servant of the government? You think you're in charge? No. They're in charge of you. They manipulate you. They got you in their power. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok." I'm in line for chicken, dude. I don't. I'm just standing here. You didn't fall on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock fell on you. Okay, fine. I left. Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Jefferson Street, Malcolm X. I'll never forget. He's out there preaching the word up and down East, whatever the name of the city is.
Oh yeah. Oh, is it East Nashville?
Yep.
You know what's funny is I bet I know who that guy is. Because there was a guy one time this was like when I first started doing stand-up comedy that came into a comedy show as an open mic, and he was heckling the show. He was the most brilliant heckle I've ever seen. He sat in the front row and he was just drawing. Right, that's what he was doing. He wasn't laughing. He wasn't watching the show. He was just drawing, and it's right in the front row. So all the comics are going up. They look down and see this guy just up there coloring,
Okay.
and finally, someone points it out and starts making fun of him. It was inevitable. And then the guy starts getting really upset and starts yelling and threatening to fight people and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Me and some other guys had to help escort him out, you know. And then he came back and he started just spouting all this stuff like that. That kind of stuff, you know.
Okay.
And
why are you at a comedy show, dude?
Exactly.
Why are
You're
you
not
here?
funny. Why are you here?
Why are you here? Yeah, what?
And then he came back the next week and started doing the same thing.
Okay.
And then some other people, because I've never lived in East Nashville. East Nashville's like the artist community, you know,
artsy, yeah.
A lot of comics live out there and everything. But apparently he's like around that area and he just does that. He's just like, always spouting that stuff.
It's his mission in life, to show up where I'm going to show up at this public venue and make my opinion known. Okay, all right, that's your job. Okay,
that's his job. He has a Patreon account.
I don't get that. You know, people who go to people who don't have senses of humor go into comedy shows.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, why are you here? You know, and I'm sure you see the people out in the crowd with just a blank expression on their face.
Yeah.
You're doing all your stuff, and they just gotta sit there with this blank expression.
Yeah. Well, not because it's just not funny.
But that could be it too.
Let's be honest now.
Or I mean, but it's not just you, but everybody goes up. They just sit there, just nothing. I'm like, why are you here, dude? You just wasted $40. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Man,
some people will go to comedy shows and they have this like impress me attitude. Whereas I don't care how good of a comedian you're watching. Like if you're just like, make me laugh. If you have that attitude, you're not going to find it funny. You got to go expecting to have fun.
Yeah, you got to loosen up, dude. Loosen up. Like I get Eric Griffin. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to steal his material.
He's the dude that he has like some crazy show he used to do on Adult Swim, right? Is that the guy I'm thinking of?
Eric Griffin. No, black guy, glasses.
Yeah, big poopy hair.
Yeah, he's got an HBO show now. He's on that. It was in the 70s.
Okay. I know what I think about.
I've been stealing his material for years.
Okay.
But he talked about again, guys like that come to comedy clubs who don't have a sense of humor. Why are you here? Or also the guy in the bathroom that pulls his penis out too soon. The door is here and the utero's over there. As soon as he comes to the door, his penis is out. Yeah. I'm like, oh, hey man, what are you doing? Then the guy don't put it back after he's done. He's done and he's walking over to the sink. Penis still out. What are you doing? Hey man, I want to see that.
That's hilarious.
So, I saw what's her name, Tiffany Haddish. She rough. She had it rough in L.A. Was homeless.
Wow.
And then she kicked off. She do comedy.
I've been seeing her everywhere.
It was therapy. It was therapy for her to go down to the comedy club, and she was out there with what's his name, Kevin Hart. Yeah. I started out there with him, and then she took off. I mean, if you stick to it.
Yeah.
Hey. But she got, again, all her stuff is based on her experiences too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta get out there and do stuff. So you have something to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of comedians will go and just try stuff just because maybe I'll get a joke out of this.
I think Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know. I can't remember the name of his comedy club.
Dangerfields, yeah.
Duh. Okay. Thank you.
Hey.
He come out there in the bathrobe, but he just, he's sitting around the house all day to write stuff. And just come out that night in his bathrobe, and what do you think of this?
There's no respect, right?
Jesus.
I love that joke that he has about. He's like, my wife. She made me go to Alcoholics Anonymous. Mm-hmm. It's all right. I still drink. I just do it under a different name. Showing my age. When he came on Johnny Carson, showing my age. The guy killed. He's great,
killed. Yeah. He was doing it from way back. They kind of ran out of gas toward the end. After he made that movie with
Caddyshack.
After Caddyshack, it was the one with Sam Kinison.
There's a school something.
Yeah. With Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinnison's great.
Another great guy. I think he went from one extreme to the other though. He went from being a preacher.
Yeah.
And to whatever he was doing, he was into all kinds of stuff. He went from one extreme to the other, sadomasochism.
He crashed and burned big time.
And then he was coming around again when he had an accident and got knocked off.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. Yeah, it's really a shame. He had that famous special that really broke him onto the scene a big way from like 1987 to HBO.
He had the big coat and a beret on, and he came in out leading two girls with leashes. Whoa, Sam, this is your first time out. Take it easy. This is your first time out. You don't want to burn out too quick. I mean, hey.
He had so many great bits. So like, my favorite ones, he's talking about, world hunger, and he's like, why, we're sending. He'd always start out really like quiet, we're doing this. We're sending food over, these starving kids, over there. It's into the desert, And he's like, why don't they go where the food is?
That's right.
Nothing grows there.
Well, okay, wait. I think we tried that with Syria. Nobody's happy now. Everybody in Syria said, you know what? It sucks here. We're going to Europe. The Europeans weren't too happy about that.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, whoa. We didn't mean come here.
Right.
Go there.
Where food is.
Their food, not mine.
Yeah. What's weird is, though, of course, obviously it's just a joke, but what's weird is those places that are very tropical, abundant with resources that are like failing and starving. And,
dude, unfortunately, you're right.
Like South America, there's places like that.
Man, I can't get. Well, a lot of it's a lot of reasons for that. Corruption, government.
Well, other countries coming in and ravaging their resources.
Which I heard that the Somalia, everybody gives Somali pirates a bunch of crap. Going out there, taking over ships.
Yeah.
The Somalia, they're heroes. Why? Because since Somalia didn't have a government.
I thought you were going to say they turned it around. They're building ships now.
That would be a turn. No, it's Somalia. We've been being pirates so long. Let's just build the ships, okay? Let's just build them. Somalia, the pirates are heroes because since Somalia didn't have a government, no real infrastructure, other countries would come pulling up to the coast, dumping all their garbage and trash and stuff on there, fishing in their water, stealing all their stuff. And when these pirates say, let's go out there and take over these ships, the people of Somalia thought, these guys are heroes.
Yeah.
These guys are here, they're out there protecting. No, they're looking for a profit. They're looking to get loot.
Right.
That's what they're doing. But if you want to cheer us, say that's fine too. Right?
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, the pirate problem you haven't heard about much lately.
No, I think
took a few of them out. So
it's not just a bunch of guys on the ship anymore, running. Now they got security detachments, former British SAS and all that on these ships now. Well, you might want to stay away in your speedboat now.
Yeah, you might want to.
Which these cruise ships, I thought, as an afterthought, they have to have security. They have to.
Oh, yeah.
You got about 2,000-3,000 people just running around.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't no security. They're there, but they're undercover. Plain clothes.
That's probably true, yeah.
And
and just it's not even just pirates. I mean, anyone can buy tickets to go on a cruise.
Yeah, exactly.
And possibly sneak some weapons in or whatever.
What if somebody starts acting up? What do? They can confine you to your cabin, and if you're too radical, they can pull up
to the brig. It's just like a buffet inside.
Drink bar. All right, you have to stay in here. Okay, all right, you got me, copper. You got me. No, I ran up on it because somebody was looking at being security on boats because we thought they have to have some kind of security. They have to. And most ships, most of these cruise lines, if you get out of pocket, you start acting up, they'll just confine you to your room. The captain can say, "Stay in your room."
Yeah.
Stay there, and then make sure that you're fed. And then some crew member will sit there and make sure you stay in there.
Yeah.
Or if you're really out of hand, they'll pull up to an island, hopefully a populated one, and let you off. Get off the boat. Get off.
Yeah. You figure out how to get back.
That's right. Yeah. And that's where I'm not a fan of Disney cruise ships, especially Disney cruises. The idea of being trapped on a boat with a bunch of kids. No. No. That's my hell.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's not.
They told me, somebody who's been on one of those things told me, if when you get off, when they pull up these islands, you better not wander too far off, because if that ship leaves, you're done.
Yeah.
When they say we're leaving 2:00, you better be on that boat by 1:45.
Yeah. Also, it's a lot of these places that they go, it's not what you think. Like Jamaica, for example, you think like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of Rastafarians walking around smoking weed or cool place, but and part of it is probably that.
Well, yeah.
But But and they, I'm sure they have, just like anywhere, they have their vacations areas.
Stay in the tourist areas.
But what I've heard, yeah, parts of it are pretty rough.
Yeah, stay in the tourist area. Because don't be wandering around out there in the middle of Jamaica by yourself. You might have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay?
And in Hawaii, I was in Hawaii not too long ago. I got a friend that's stationed out there. He's a Cav Scout.
Okay.
He's a Cav Scout. And there was obviously really nice areas.
Yeah.
I was on Oahu, which is where a lot of people go on vacation and stuff. There's some nice areas, but there's some kind of slummy areas too.
True.
Which is surprising because it's so expensive to live in Hawaii.
Especially for the people that live there. The native people, from what I understand, have a real problem with housing and being able to afford to live there. And there's a lot of resentment that this what was their place.
Right.
Not anymore. It's again, it's probably a great place to visit, but don't live there.
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard stories that one of my this person I knew, he told me he grew up in Hawaii. They lived on the beach. I mean, they were, and unfortunately, that's all too common. Unfortunately,
yeah, a lot of homeless people.
Yeah. And I've heard rumors about how other cities, to solve their homeless problem, they put these people on a plane, send them to Hawaii. I want to not believe that, but I can't necessarily rule it out either.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of like this time I had a pet lizard that I didn't want, and I couldn't find anyone to take it for a while, so I was like, maybe we'll just go to Arizona.
That's where he's from. That's his environment. He'll be fine out there. Oh man, same thing. I had this when I was. This is terrible. We had this dog, this Chihuahua mix when we were a kid. And the world I came from, you didn't take no dog to no vet. You just pulled up, took it for a ride.
I suppose it's for people.
Rich folks, ain't no dog doctor. I can't afford a doctor.
They got so much money, they're taking their dog to the hospital.
We took this dog for a ride, right?
Yeah.
And the idea was, okay, come on, boy, come on, hey, take him out there, drop him off in the car, off you go, drive off, right? It was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Apparently the dog didn't wasn't with the program, right? So we go out there, we take this dog at least 200-300 yards away.
Yeah.
Out in the fields, right? Okay. Take off. We take off on foot back to the car. This dog gave us a 100-yard head start. Then took off running, and we're halfway back. We look at the dog is passing us. And by the time we get back to the car, dog's in the front seat waiting for us. What? What is this? You're not. We take him out, back out there again.
Yeah.
All right, stay. Take off. Dog again, 150-yard head start. The dog takes off, catches us, beats us back to the car. Well, I guess he's staying. Take him back home. Hey, dude.
That's funny. All right, well let's end it here and let's do the part 2.
Let's go.
All right, we're gonna do a part 2. You'll see that later, and also I wanted to let you guys know too, if you're still here in the video, I'm gonna be at Zany's in Nashville on September 5th. The show starts at 7:30. Just go on the Zany's website and you can get tickets or whatever. But you guys are always asking me. They're always asking me. They're like, "When are you gonna do stand up?" So I got a real show. Got on a real show. So
when's the HBO special?
It's gonna be better.
Okay, showtime. All right, we'll step down. Showtime.
More like a YouTube.
Come on. I can at least make it here on the radio at 5 o'clock, right? One of those guys. 5 o'clock funnies. Yeah, there you go.
Well, people, I feel like, aspiring comedians put their, like, when they get it, there's a rush to, like, okay, I've got an hour together, so I got to put out an album, I think people rush to do that too quickly. Like, my plan is, right now I'm trying to build a really strong 15 minutes, get a really good 15 minutes together, and then kind of build from there, because I don't want to like record it or put anything out until it's like really solid and together. And because the problem is, it's like you work so hard on that material and then you put it out and it's gone. Now you got to come up with all new stuff.
Yeah, I thought material is the biggest thing that takes people out as far as comedy. Lack of material.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that was good, but what else you got?
Yeah,
Hey.
Exactly. And there'll be a lot of comedians that like their debut special will be great. Everybody, oh, this guy's great. And then
next week, let's go.
They sign some deal where they got to do another special in 2 years, 3 years, and then it's just, I don't know, they just can't quite, make it happen.
Well, I mean, it's based off experience, but after a while, you kind of run out of. It's just like.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Yeah.
Unless you got writers.
Yeah, but a lot of good comedians though they come up with it. Well, if you watch really professional comedians, what they do a lot of times, like younger comedians will have shorter jokes that have like more topics that they talk about. And if you watch like someone who's been doing it for like 10 or 20 years, you'll notice that you'll watch them for an hour and they really only covered like 4 topics.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they just get so good at coming up with punchlines that they can talk about. They may have a joke about going to the post office that is like 20 minutes long or something like that.
Oh, you mean the Bill Cosby? I hate to mention that guy's name. I mean, he was great on storytelling, and he never finished it. And people just laugh, and like, he didn't even. I mean, what were we talking about? I mean,
how'd it get there?
I mean, and then the people love it. He's hosting all these shows, all the concerts, and he just sit and BS for like an hour.
Yeah.
And people will pay probably like $100, $200 a ticket to sit there and listen to this guy.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, you were good your day. You were good your day, Bill. I mean, besides that, I'm just talking about the comedy part.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he did. I don't know.
Norm Macdonald has some of the best jokes about Bill Cosby. I heard him, I think it was on Jerry Seinfeld's show. He was talking with Jerry, and he was like, he's like, oh, a friend of mine said that, I can't do his voice very well, but he's like, a friend of mine said that he thought that the worst part of that whole Bill Cosby thing was the hypocrisy. And I was like, I disagree. I think it was the rapes. And he has like a stand-up version of that bit too, where he says that, and then he's like, number 1 was the rapes. Number 2, the drugging. Number 3, the scheming. And he had some other thing where he was like, I just love Bill Cosby, and he's like, not so much as a comedian, just in his personal life. Something like that.
Jim Gaffigan, which I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah, he's great.
Him and his wife, right? Him and his wife do all the writing.
Really? That's interesting.
His wife. And the guy, I haven't seen him in a while.
I think he's got some new specials on Netflix.
Yeah, he talked about the Southern people, right? And he talked about grits. He talked about grits. He says apparently Southern people wake up in the morning and decide it's time for concrete. And grits, he's right. Don't let them get cold.
I'll tell you guys, you should check out sometime, if you don't know, is Brian Regan. You heard of him?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time. He's really funny. He's a clean comic. But it's not, he doesn't seem like, you don't even think about, when you're watching him, you don't even think about the fact that he's clean, because his jokes are just so good. They seem like a regular non-clean comic's jokes that just happen to be clean.
Okay.
I mean? Like Jerry Seinfeld, when you watch him, you just feel that, this is like a clean comic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's not like that. But he's good. Yeah, some joke I saw on Letterman about how he was talking about he hates when they're interviewing like an athlete, during a game or after a game or something, and they like force questions on them. They're like, "So, are you dedicating this victory to your sick grandmother?" And it's like, "Well, I guess I am now."
I can't say no. I can't back out.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We'll stop BSing. So we're going to go do a part 2, which you'll see later on, and we're going to try to do it in a different location. But if that doesn't work out, we're just going to do it back here. But the part 2 will go up later on. And again, like I said, the new podcast show, which I'm going to do some different things with than I did on Gun Culture Radio, is over on the John Hickok channel. So that's where you have to find it. And then once I get into the new studio, then we'll start doing, because for now I can do those podcasts by myself, but getting it set up with 2 microphones when all this stuff is just in disarray would be too much, since I'm going to be moving like in a matter of a few weeks. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.